So this is your hit at the start. So just kind of talked about how to load energy in the right way to get an easier way to get back to the golf ball. So as you set up here on the one on the left, this is your first hit, the first video I took. There's 6 possible things people can move to get power or stored up energy. That's shoulders, hips, arms, wrist. Your ground force is how you use your legs to push off the ground, and your core muscles. That combination of those 6 things is quite the shape of the look of their golf swing as they load and release energy trying to hit a golf ball. Part of your swing is always what you fought in your swing is how to load up your energy in your backswing. Your tension is okay in your backswing, even though it looked pretty good. It didn't. I wanted to rearrange what you call a force or resistance more than a wind-up feeling. So initially, what you're trying to do is get a wind-up, and you'll see your first natural move will be from the hip. So you want to turn first, and that hip turns, but ends up what it does, it slides out. So the weight goes outside this hip. So now the pressure point's out here somewhere. And because of that, you can't really rotate. So then you start stretching up. There's a lift. So all the energy is going to be, or the forces are right here. And this is a hip point here, and maybe in the back of this thigh. So now you're going to have to get this and get it back, not come over the top. So you're going to push like crazy from here. That pushes your tilt. You'll drop those arms in there, and you're trying to get inside. And you can get inside. The problem is as you're getting inside, your body has to spin that way. So it's hard for your upper body to stay behind. So that's where you get the toe hits. As you hit here, you'll see at the toe. And then you can't stay down and get through the shot. It's tough. So we try to feel a little different way to feel a different wind up. Now, this is the practice swing over here. The main thing I wanted you to feel, what we eventually evolved to, is not restricting the hips, but restricting the thigh muscles. You felt like the thighs were pushing or facing the ball longer. And you felt the core muscles in here moving kind of with your arms kind of right here. So you felt this core feeling with your arms and restricting that as long as you can. Now when you did this energy kept you this way, and that gets you that little stretching feeling in your core muscles. And when you did that, you can see your backswing had a different shape. The hip no longer slid up. By forcing here and resisting here, the hip just started naturally rotating. And you should feel resistance here and here. And if these 2 things happen, then now your natural motion will get going. So we want to feel like a spring feeling here and here in the core. And the arms should just stay next to the body. Now to you, this swing felt really small. But in reality, you can see how much more we moved than when you did your movement. Your movement has stretches in different ways. It's stretching here and here, but not here and here. And that's for you to get. So the problem is when you take a swing, it feels pretty good. But then when you swing, I think this helped you a lot because it got you to feel in real time at different places you should feel a stretching core feeling instead of a different where you were trying to get a stretch feeling. Now let you know that you're doing something different, which allows you in real time to figure out that's a different swing. But I don't feel these certain stress points, which is top of your legs and your core. Then if you don't feel that, then you're over here doing stretching feelings this other way. Now from there, when we put it in back there, the force of the swing is we're trying to take that force and apply leverage to something, not to the finish, trying to drive the energy downward. Because you have to retilt your body, you're initially trying to go down, but because your body had to retilt up, you can't really get your core back, so you twist away from the shot. So if I do that in motion, you can see how your center of your rotation is not really going. If there's a bag down there, impact bag, you're moving away from it. This moves you towards the bag. So we'll bring another video up here when you're hitting where that fits. So when the bag was there, you would go down and now hit the bag as a force. Because you need to see the bag as a load and a hit. That's your power. But when you're here, you have nowhere to go but to retilt and fall away. So that got you to feel that power. So the bag represents, you're trying to store this energy up and try to apply as much leverage to that bag. That's your power. And after the bag, it's just a slingshot, let it fly, meaning you just release all that energy. Let's pull this. So if I'm doing this drill, I'm hitting this bag, you're going to see here, the first thing I'm doing is I'm trying to put my arm right here in my core. I want to feel resistance in here. This arm, it will stay next to my body. My other arm is a free arm. It's swinging freely. And I'm trying to feel right about here in this drill. I'm trying to feel resistance here and here. And then I'm going to push and move from my core. My arm will just swing right down with me. Now I'm creating a force of energy to the bag. And that's where I'm going to feel power. To get this power feeling, you can't get to that power feeling where you want from this wind up. You have to re-tilt to get it back to the inside, which you do, but then you can't get any energy to the ball, so you can't really get the release. Over in here, from that backswing, you can now apply leverage to that ball. That eventually you kind of work backwards. When somebody works back with the swing, they're trying to get this feeling. To get this feeling, we better be there to get that feeling. So that's a good way for you also to feel that. Second part of that is just going to be the slingshot effect. So if we look at so here's Jon Rahm. Golfers think he has a short swing. What he has is a very resistant swing. You'll see his lower half not really do a whole lot, because he's not really, again, he is trying to keep this down here. He's feeling a stretch here, but he's building all that energy here in his legs. And that's where he's building his power. He's not trying to make this big shoulder turn feeling. And from there, he can now, like he's hitting the bag, is that force. So all tour players hit with a tremendous amount of force right here. That's where they get their power. So that's the other way for you to feel that drill, feeling powerful right there. So that's a good drill for you to do. As you're doing this drill, you should feel all that resistance at the same time in these legs, in your core, your arms swinging. You feel like you're applying leverage to that bag. After that, we're just going to let it go flying through. So got to keep those little key points. See if we can kind of find a simple way for you to just see that in your backswing. And I think you get back to the ball, you start seeing a difference in your backswing, which allows you to be more consistent back to the golf ball.